The route for all esports growth starts here.
This is College Esports Now.
Tune in to College Esports Now for the most exciting updates and highlights in collegiate gaming.
Get ready for non-stop action and excitement. Experience the thrill of college esports
Every Friday and Sunday on ESTV.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Season 2 of College Esports Now. I'm your host, Paulie Hype, and before we get into this season's college esports action, I am so happy to introduce our new co-host for season number 2. Please say hello to Kari Misu.
Thank you so much, Paulie. I'm feeling a very good start to the new season this year. Let's start with some news. Hold on tight, because we're diving right in. Reminiscing about past year's closing, there's some NACL presents we want to share. Last December, NACL was at the Miami Art Basel 2022. During those few days, NACL went to DecentralCon Miami, Bit Basel with Bella Group, and even had an activation with Unrevealed. At DecentralCon, one of our sponsors, Blocklords, shared a clip of a conversation between Michael Bisping and our president, David Chen. And as it seems, the conversation didn't go so well. Many friends and fans got worried that it was a real fallout. Of course, that was a setup all to drive a little spice to the event, all in good fun. During the Bit Basel, David was put on a panel of speakers hosted by Dallas Santana from the Bella Group, and sitting on the panel was accompanied by none other than Snoop Dogg's son, Cordell and Timbaland. The panel discussion went deep into NFTs, music, metaverse, and NFTs in space. It was quite the discussion. On the final day of the Art Basel, NACL partnered with Unrevealed to have a gaming event, combining gaming and art into a whole new experience. NACL did a practice and qualifying stage in the Cabanas, followed by a grand finale to be held in front of the main stage, where DJ Uzo was setting the tone for the evening. A big thanks to our sponsors DeLorean, the GAMP HRS, CRD, Pop Gallery, and the Raiden Science Foundation. Fast forward to this year. During the Grammys weekend in Los Angeles, NACL hosted their first Connect X event. The focus of the event was to link brands that work with NACL to the gamers, musicians, and content creators through our vast network. NACL strives to build a sustainable environment and ecosphere for the esports industry. The main sponsors of the event were Roland, Gorilla, DeLorean, Famecast, QE, Wonderfun Custom, Raiden Science Foundation, and Vela. Drinks were kindly sponsored by Passion Tree Hard Seltzer, Goka, and Juneshine. Exciting activities such as testing sponsors' products, a live streaming station, and an 80s DMC displayed by DeLorean kept the audience engaged and entertained. Plus, the event featured a special performance by the guitar queen, Jackie Rain, who shredded the Roland guitar for the audience. The 350 guests were at the event. There was live streaming with Roland, a gaming experience area, and 2 panel discussions hosted by David Chen that consisted of Jared Fink, CEO of CosmicWire, Rex Wong, CEO of Famecast, Brian Alley, Vice President of Roland, Gabe Figures, CTO of QB, Corey Clement, Super Bowl champion, Evan Kalin, CEO of Gorilla, Marquise Anthony, Global Brand Relations for Roland, Glenn Shaw, CEO of QB, and Roger Argenis, CEO of Soundstage and Grammy nominee. Apart from the amazing DeLorean that was on display at the event, there were a few exotic vehicles that were at the event, including 2 Liberty Walk wide-body vehicles from LTMW. Word out there is everyone really enjoyed themselves. Stay tuned and don't miss out on the next Connect X event. Coming up next, we have more doors opening for professional esports. For all of you wanting to launch tournaments, this one's for you. Gorilla launched the beta with 20,000 registered users and $3 million in funding from Tusk Venture Partners. This platform provides players with tools to help create tournaments and increase prize pools through features like PvP matches, crowdsourcing, and the ability for fans to contribute players' entry fees. Launching with video games like Call of Duty, Madden, Street Fighter, and NBA 2K, Gorilla has built the infrastructure to support various tournament formats and game genres. The platform will provide players with a digital solution to keep score and a digital wallet for prize payouts at the end of the tournament. By offering these features, players can wager real money with their friends or other players in the community. The future for Gorilla sees additional markets and launches of different tournaments for mobile games, tabletop games, VR AR games, and IRL games. So be ready. This is just the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, we have for you an interview with the CEO of Gorilla, Evan Kalin, up next.
Hey guys, it's me, Katie Scott. I am so excited about today's exclusive interview with the founder and CEO of Gorilla GG, Evan Kalin. Hey Evan, how are you?
I'm good, Katie. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's another sunny day. We're blessed for it. So tell us about your company, Gorilla GG.
Yeah, for sure. So we're a new tournament platform. We launched in January. We spent about 6 months in beta, kind of refining the product. So we officially launched in January. We have about 25,000 people using the site. You could create, play in, manage, pay out in a variety of different games. So we have over 100 games on the site, everything from first-person shooters to fighting games to sports titles. And the idea is we just kind of want to lower the barrier of entry and make it easy for anyone to create tournaments for their friends or their community. What we're working on right now is a collegiate ambassador program, which we're really excited about. Basically what that means is, in my opinion, is probably the easiest way that you can make money as a college student. You simply organize competitions for you and your friends, and you make money from Gorilla doing so. It's very easy to sign up for the program. You just go to gorilla.gg, that's GRILLA.gg. There's a little partnership tab at the top of the website. You could just kind of submit your information on who you are, what games you play, what you organize for your friends, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours and we'll let you know if we can partner with you.
That's awesome, Evan. So tell us, what are some of the benefits that both the students and your company see?
Yeah, I mean, we want to kind of just make, like I said, we want to lower the barrier of entry. So from my perspective, like, I'm never going to be the best gamer in any tournament on our platform. And I know that there's a lot of people that don't necessarily need to be the best player at their school or on the varsity team. So we're saying, let's just make it so anyone could kind of just compete, right? Like you could just get your 7 buddies together, you could play in a Call of Duty tournament, and you could interact and have these real money features built into the experience as if you were a professional. So like I said, you could pay the entry fees, you could immediately pay out prize pools, and something that differentiates us, which is we're really excited about, is you could wager against your opponent in a tournament. So Katie, let's say you and I are matched up against each other in a tournament. We're playing, I don't know, Call of Duty. Through the platform, I could say, hey, Katie, let's put $5 on the outcome of this. You say, yeah, that sounds great. Both of our funds are pulled from our Gorilla wallet. Once you're declared the winner, you get my $5, and it adds a little bit of excitement within the tournament. So it's not just about winning the grand prize, it's just about these mini experiences we can create within the tournament.
Especially with your platform available. Guys, make sure to check out Gorilla GG. Check out their tournament platform. It is the place to be, the one-stop shop. Evan, thank you so much for your time, and we will catch up with you next time.
Later this year, PrizePicks and Morris Brown will launch an internship program for MBC students to apply their classroom skills development directly to the PrizePicks Esports division, where candidates will be able to gain experience across a variety of concentrations, including esports content development, analytics, and graphic design. Collegiate esports brand Esports U has teamed up with Xbox and gaming technology company Padia Gaming to bring you a collegiate esports series for aspiring female players. The circuit will see the companies host 3 events in 2023. The Collegiate Valorant Qualification Tournament is open to all female students enrolled in a college based in the United States or Canada. The winner of the event will secure a place at the Collegiate Esports Commission Cup, taking place on May 6th and 7th at Esports Stadium, Arlington. In addition to the tournaments, Xbox, Esports U, and Padia Gaming will work together to create 2 new content series. The first series aims to mentor new female commentary talent in the industry, with the goal of having them commentate on Valorant at CECC. The second content series will focus on teams preparing for the competition from February to May. The integration of biometric technology in sports is becoming increasingly popular, as it allows for a more data-driven approach to training. Now, Curia, a biometric technology solutions company, and FitGamer, an esports performance and player development company, have partnered with Augustana College to monitor and analyze the physical and mental performance of the Vikings team. The biometric technology will allow coaches and trainers to develop a more effective training and performance-enhancing strategies for the team. It's also worth noting that biometric technology can be used to identify potential injury risks. Unified Esports League opened the first gaming and STEAM technology program for special needs people at Abraxas High last February. What a wonderful initiative. The program will incorporate several different technology platforms, from computers to video game consoles, touchscreen tablets for graphic art design, and various other mediums. This can help bridge the gap between individuals with special needs and the gaming industry, which can provide valuable socialization opportunities and career prospects. Also, by incorporating different mediums of technology, the program can help promote life and career skills among its participants. Any aspect of esports that can be made more accessible is an amazing step forward.
The route for all esports growth starts here.
This is College Esports Now.
Tune in to College Esports Now for the most exciting updates and highlights in collegiate gaming.
Get ready for non-stop action and excitement. Experience the thrill of college esports
Every Friday and Sunday on ESTV.
That was some awesome coverage. Thank you so much, Kari. Now, let's bring you up to date with the latest college esports action from around the nation. This is week 1 of College Esports Now coverage, which features the very best highlights, interviews, gameplay, and stories that will leave you all saying, "Now that's hype!" Woo! We start out the week on Monday, February 13th, with some NJC AAE Rocket League action, featuring Mineral Area College versus Northern Virginia Community. NJC AAE is finally back and it's on the table, and we're starting off with a bang with Mineral Area and Northern Virginia. Game 1 started off a little bit slow, but it quickly ramped up once Northern Virginia scored their first goal to get 3 total after having over 10 shots on goal. Game number 2 also started off kind of slow, but instead of Northern Virginia starting off, it was Mineral Area showing some amazing plays, team play, to get some early goals. There seems to be a pattern, as game number 3 was also silent for about the first 2 minutes, but then it was NV, Northern Virginia, showing off their ability to make crazy outplays and take the lead 2-1. Both teams had a lot more aggression in this match as they kept on trying to score goals in the early half. Neither team wanted to lose this series, as both teams were able to score last-second goals to send us to a long overtime. But in the end, only one can win, and it was Northern Virginia Community College taking home the W. Next up, we head over to the ECAC Conference for some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, featuring Emory and Henry College versus Central Maine Community. For the ECAC Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, we see familiar faces in Emory and Henry take on newcomers in Central Maine, who are actually looking for their first one on the season. Emory and Henry starter Valcadio was able to take down Central Maine's first 2 players while only losing 2 of his own stocks. Valcadio would soon go down to Central Maine's final player, Papanda, who was also able to take down the next player for Emory and Henry, Hispanard. The final matchup for the first set went all the way down to the final stock before Emory and Henry's Alex Swaggers was able to clean up for the set 1 win. Alex Swaggers would actually open for the second set, and he took down Papanda yet again and was able to also almost take down Gray, but he just fell short. Hispanard came onto the stage to make quick work of Gray before also eliminating Gamer Boy Cutie to get the 2-0 victory. Well done. Next, we head over to Tuesday for the Padilla Women's Cup Matchmaking Season Week 1, featuring Powerpuff Girls versus Buckeye Gaming Club. It's finally time for the first week of the Paydia Cup matchmaking season, and we got to see Powerpuff Girls versus Buckeye Gaming for our very first matchup. We started off on Ascent, and it was neck and neck in the first half as players like Powerpuff Girls Melanie and Buckeye Gaming Club Selena popped off respectively. The second half is where we saw Powerpuff Girls really starting to show up and clenching the win on Ascent in a dominating fashion. Powerpuff Girls kept up the momentum when going over to Icebox with Powerpuff Girls Melanie, Qatar, and company showing off their skills. The match was set and done as Powerpuff Girls showed how powerful they truly are and what a threat they can be this season in the Paydia Cup. Next, we head back to the ECAC for some Valorant action featuring Keene University versus UNC Greensboro. We got a rematch of the fall 2022 season as Keene was looking to get revenge on Greensboro. Their first engagement was set on Lotus, and it was such a hectic close matchup between both of these teams. Once Keene got the upper hand in the second half, they did not let go and gave Greensboro their first map loss of the season. Split was map number 2 chosen by Greensboro, and it showed why they're comfortable as they dominated the first half. Greensboro did not slow down as they looked to tie up the series by dominating Split with a 13-5 scoreline. Ouch. Ascent was the grand finale, and just like map number 1, it was a very close affair as both teams kept on taking rounds from each other. There was a fire that was lit underneath Keene as they surged forward in the second half, however, to claim the victory against their rival school. Well done, Keene, as they get the win. Next, we head to Wednesday for some ECAC Rocket League action, featuring Ohio Northern University versus Stevenson University. Stevenson are currently on a hot streak, and they want to keep it as they face off against Ohio Northern. Ohio Northern started off strong with an early goal, but Stevenson got 2 back-to-back goals to snatch the Game 1 victory from the opposing team. Game 2 was a little slower to start off again, but once we got up to about the halfway point, both teams kept on shooting for goals and we went into an overtime. It was not a long overtime though, as Azeze from Stevenson made sure to slam in the goal to be 2-0 in the series. The tempo was purely in Stevenson's hands as they kept on scoring goal after goal to quickly put themselves on match point. Ohio Northern tried to hold off and shoot some goals back, but Stevenson had their number and claimed yet another victory to put themselves up at 3-0 and the win. Next up, I have a special interview with the team captain of the Rocket League team at Stevenson, Rowan Optic Robertson. Enjoy. Next up, we head back to the ECAC for some Overwatch 2, featuring Ball State University Black versus Ball State University Red in a mirror match. It's time for an interesting matchup as we go back for the Ball State Civil War with BSU Red taking on BSU Black. You could tell that both Ball State squads were having fun with this one as they swapped around their roles and strategies a bit. BSU Black kept on putting up a pretty good fight their entire time, but their sister team, Ball State Red, kept on getting the upper hand and claimed a Paul for the win. We headed over to Pariso next as Ball State Red kept up the aggression to claim a quick hybrid win with their Raven Strider having a blast on the hamster Wrecking Ball. Dorado was the third map, and BSU Red finally went back to their original roles and got serious. BSU Red made sure that BSU Black could not get the payload to end the map, which gave them a 3-0 victory over their sister team, BSU Red, in the driver's seat. Thursday is here, and we head back to the NJC AAE conference for Valorant, featuring Hawkeye Community College versus Bryant and Stratton College, Virginia. It's Valorant Thursday, and first up we got 2 of NJC AAE's schools duking it out in Hawkeye and Bryant and Stratton. Bryant and Stratton started off very strong on Icebox as they kept on getting flawless rounds and only losing just 1 member. Hawkeye tried their hardest to gain momentum, but it was not enough as Bryant and Stratton claimed the first map in dominating fashion. Map number 2 saw the teams go to Ascent, and things were starting to look a little bit more tense for Bryant and Stratton as Hawkeye were starting to make them sweat for it. None of that was able to derail Bryan and Stratton as they made sure to end the game in style and claim a 2-0 victory in the NJCAAE's first week of gameplay. Next, we head to the ECC for Valorant, featuring Damon University versus College of Staten Island, the Dolphins. We move things over to the East Coast Conference to see College of Staten Island take on Damon University. CSI came onto Lotus with a game plan and they executed it perfectly as players like Mr. Leap and Sano were able to clutch rounds with phenomenal gameplay. Damon were only able to take 2 rounds off College of Staten Island before the Dolphins took Lotus in 13-2 scoreline. Oof! Haven was next up, and this was Staten Island's map pick, which it showed as they were very comfortable playing on it. This time around for Staten Island, players like Sano and AMG were the ones to step up and make plays against Damon. Staten Island kept up the momentum, not just through the entire map, but also the entire series to give them a decisive victory over Damon. It's finally Friday, and we have NJCAE for some Overwatch 2 featuring Hocking College versus North Dakota State College of Science. It's Overwatch time, and we got Hocking versus North Dakota to start off NJCAAE's season. Lijiang Tower was our first entry to the series, and Hocking came out swinging. North Dakota barely had any time on either points, and it was a quick map 1 victory for the Hocking Hawks. Kings Row is where we really started to see Hocking's seismic start to shine and get some of this out-of-the-world plays. Hocking were able to do a full hold on the first point on defense, and were quickly able to take the win to also get the map 2 victory. Seismic kept on showing up on the third map yet again, showing just how aggressive a Widowmaker truly can be. North Dakota had no answer to the aggression, which led to Hocking claiming the clean 3-0 victory. Next, we head to the East Coast Conference for Overwatch 2, featuring College of Staten Island versus the New York Institute of Technology. It's a rematch of the fall 2022 ECC Finals as we see NYIT try to take revenge against CSI. Staten Island had the early advantage on Busan, but NYIT were quickly able to equalize and then claim the victory on the first map. CSI were not too happy about the first map, so they turned the aggression up to fire up 110% as they plowed through NYIT's defense and offense to even up the scoreline 1-1. Unlike the previous map, NYIT were really doing well on Route 66, delivering the payload nearly all the way to the end, not to be outdone by their opponents. Staten Island said, anything you can do, I can do better. And with Exiled to lead them, they went all the way to the end to get the match point. Colassio was the next map choice, and both teams just kept on trying to one-up each other as their push was a mere meter apart. NYT tried their hardest to push it further, but Staten Island had their number and claimed the victory yet again. CSI on a roll against NYT. Next up, we head back to the ECAC for some League of Legends, featuring University of Wisconsin Green Bay versus Muskingum University. As we head back to the ECAC for some League of Legends action between Green Bay and Muskingum. Green Bay had the early advantage in Game 1 as they had 4 kills before 2 minutes thanks to Tarek's amazing blitz hooks. It wasn't a one-sided affair, however, as Muskingum's throw shot was lit ablaze as his Shyvana was matching the Green Bay aggression. Said aggression paid off as after just one huge Elder Dragon fight, Muskingum were able to push all the way to the Nexus for the first game win. Game number 2 had a similar start as Green Bay's AD carry Body Man was absolutely bodying the opposing bot lane. Despite the great start, Green Bay were not able to keep their lead as just like the last game, a lost fight at Dragon led to Muskingum pushing all the way and grabbing the series win. We round out the week on Sunday with the CECC Midwest Online Regional Qualifiers Seeding Tournament. It's time for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup Midwest Qualifiers, and first up on stream was Rocket League. We saw dominating performances coming out from both Columbia College and Akron Esports, who both made it all the way to the top 2. Due to external circumstances, they did not get to play, but it will be exciting to see which one of these teams steps up and goes big during the regionals. On to the Valorant side of things, we saw Columbia and GVSU duke it out in the lower bracket, with Columbia coming out on top. In the upper bracket, we saw Northwood show how dominant they can be against an opponent like Mizzou Esports. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's semifinals were up next, and we saw Michigan State take down both Northwood White and Oakland before having to face Northwood Blue in the finals. The finals went down to the last players, but in the end, Michigan came out on top as the Northwood Slayers. Our final game of the evening was now over to Overwatch 2 between Ball State and Redbird Esports. Ball State put up an amazing fight, but it was an uphill battle as Redbird Esports showed exactly why they are one of the best teams in the nation. Thank you all so much for tuning in for week 1 of College Esports Now. I hope you're up to date with all the latest action and news from this week in collegiate esports. From everyone at the College Esports Now team, we'll see you next week for all the hype in collegiate esports. Good evening, good night, and enjoy.
The route for all esports growth starts here.
This is College Esports Now.
Tune in to College Esports Now for the most exciting updates and highlights in collegiate gaming.
Get ready for non-stop action and excitement. Experience the thrill of college esports
Every Friday and Sunday on ESTV.